Hello everyone. So in this video, I'm going to discuss how I, in general, approach practicing. And I think I'm going to stick with technical difficulties, the song from Pocket as an example. So the song is really long and has a lot of fast, long, and complex passages. So there are a few steps involved in general in my practicing session. So usually when I learn a new piece, for example, a song like this, my first step is to simply learn the phrases in the song slowly, and be able to recall that slowly as well. So, for example, the first phrase. So really the first goal is to be able to confidently recall the music. The speed is not a concern here, alright? Something like that. And the idea is to really memorize the music and be able to play from memory as soon as possible. So that's generally step one for me. And but if you listen to the original soundtrack, you would know that it's pretty fast, right? And so this is probably what people would get most interested in, which is how to really speed this thing up. So I would look at it this way. So if like this whole song's like a problem of this size, usually I would not tackle it head on. I would try to find a smaller problem and fix that one first. So this phrase is pretty long, and usually during my practice, I would just practice, say, a smaller piece of that, say the first 4 notes. All right, and I do have some secret weapons that I want to show you. First of all, a metronome. It's just in general really useful to have a metronome, especially when I practice stuff like these, you know, where you need to be really solid in terms of rhythm. Also, another secret weapon that I have is a kitchen timer. All right, and this one also doubles as a, you know, as my timer for cooking steaks. So, anyway, so it is what's you know, people would call like the Pomodoro technique. And when I practice a phrase, I would set it to say 1 minute, and well, why don't we do it together? So I'm going to do this phrase. I'm just going to be the metronome myself, okay? All right, and then I'm going to start the timer and do it for 1 minute. Let's do that in real time, right? 3, 4. Relax your hand. Relax your hand, don't have to press too hard. Don't worry about time. I mean speed, sorry. Focus on the first 4 notes. Almost there. All right, time's up. So in general, that's how I practice. And then the following this logic, the next phrase that I'm going to practice would be perhaps something like this. Just that much. Or maybe just this much. I'll just practice this much. So always refrain from trying to practice too much at one time. So I'll do more with you guys, okay? So and then 1 minute, all right? 3, 4. Almost there. All right, so pretty much that's the logic, and each time as you go further, you add a little bit of notes. So that's almost as if you're tricking your hand into thinking that each time you're just doing roughly the same thing, while in reality, each time you're actually adding a little bit of notes, a few more notes to your phrase, but your body doesn't feel you are, you know, overextending too quickly because you're only adding notes very gradually. So probably the next one would be something like that, and I would practice that over and over. And then the next one. All right, so you can add one note at a time even. All right, and also you can imagine if you practice that way, this phrase alone would incur, like, you know, hundreds of hours of practice. It's totally possible if you practice this way. So that's how I approach, you know, solving a larger problem. That's how I practice really long phrases. That's how I get up to speed. And really, the answer is very simple. You break down the problem, try to solve a smaller part of it first, instead of dealing with the problem in its original big form. All right. So that's the takeaway for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. So like and subscribe my video in my channel if you find these useful. Thank you for watching. See you next time.